Well, I had been, of course, I was born and raised in Salt Lake, and I went to Denver in late 1970 when I was 26 years old. Came back 8.5 years later. We'd only intended to be gone 2 years, but I came back 8.5 years later. And Utah had grown a lot during that time, so I wasn't sure what to expect in the marketplace, what to expect in business conditions. But we started out in May of 1979 with the Toyota store in Murray, never expecting to have more than one dealership. Next thing I knew, 25 years had gone by. I turned around and looked at what we built, and it had become quite a surprise. We had become the number 9 or 10 largest retailer of automobiles in America. We were fortunate. I don't know whether it was lucky or good in our selection of franchises and locations. That helped a lot. But I think more particularly we'd always been blessed with being surrounded by lots and lots of good people. It has just been one of the things that's been a hallmark in my life. I think the biggest accomplishment, the sense of accomplishment, was the day we signed the notes, all the notes for the acquisition of the first half of the Jazz. To have pulled that off in the circumstances we did, never should have happened. You know, I think the single one of my whole career and was winning Game 6 in Houston, going to the finals for the first time. I think that was the biggest thing the biggest single moment from a business standpoint in my career. So we sat down and talked to each other and said, what do we want our legacy to be? And we talked about a couple of things. We talked about education. I'm naive enough to believe that if somehow we could educate everybody in the world at a proper, whatever that is, level, say a university level, and that would do so many things for feeding people and politically and so on, that I think it would solve the world problems. Now that's not going to happen, but what we decided was that we could still have an impact on education, educating a lot of people. Loyalty is huge. If you ask me what the key attributes are in a human being, loyalty, in my opinion, is certainly one of the top 3. And but I do believe that loyalty is something that can never be demanded. It has to be earned. It's pretty common knowledge that the reins of the business, in a very real way, were turned over to my oldest son, Greg, who was 42, on July 16th. But along with it, what I learned was every generation should have its own time. So I've had some very close calls. At least twice I've been basically dead. Total of 6 times you could say I came, including those 2, I came very close. All since June 10th. Gail asked me for Christmas two years ago for 10,000 more days. I told her that'd be 30 years. I'm not sure I'm going to get to 10,000, but we're sneaking up on 1,000 now. Parenthetically, I'll tell you that she had given me a board that had the opening line to a book that you may be familiar with. The opening line was, "Grow old along with me. The best is yet to come."